All right, guys, welcome to today's lesson. We're going to be looking at phrases that you can use in a job interview. All right, so this is probably one of the most important parts of landing a job, probably the most important actually. So how you do in an interview, how well you do in an interview, and this is why it's really important to make sure that you have the right phrases and tools and vocabulary that you need to excel and do your best. Like always, make sure you take notes, ask questions in the live chat, and also rewatch the video whenever you need to, because I think this will come in handy in your future job interviews. All right, let's get started. So, talking about your work experience. So one of the first things you're going to have to do in a job interview is mention the education you've had, the training, and your qualifications. Some of the expressions you can use are I graduated from, or I studied at, and then you mention the university or the college, and in what year, or from what year to what year, from 2015 to 2018, for example. I got a diploma, or you could even say I got a degree, depending on what your course was. I got a diploma in maybe economics, and then went on to study maybe international relations, okay? You could also say I did a data analytics, or whatever the course might be that you studied. So I did a data analytics course in 2018, and this helped me to ... So maybe analyze numbers better, and mention anything else that it assisted with. You could also say, if you've got some qualifications, you could say I am a qualified, and then you could say whatever it is, maybe a technician, a nurse, whatever it might be that your qualification is, you can use this expression. You'll notice throughout this lesson, I've put in bold some of the words, phrases, or vocabulary that I think you might not be familiar with, or you may have heard before but you haven't used. So some really important stuff that you can use. And one of them is qualified. Next one. I have an IELTS certificate with a score of whatever your score might be. You can change this for any type of certificate that you may have gained. You could also say I have worked in whichever the sector might be for X amount of years. So for example, I have 6 years of experience working in whatever the sector is. I developed some important skills when and then mention the experience, the work experience you had. Maybe you were interning. This is a great opportunity. I developed some important skills when I was interning at so-and-so. I worked for company name as your job role, introducing your previous work. I was promoted to whatever it might be, maybe regional manager, and was responsible for managing ... I have a proven track record in. Great expression. A proven track record is when you have consistently been doing the same thing and you have become known for this thing, for being good at this thing. Okay, I have a proven track record in whatever it might be. So this shows that you are consistently successful in something. You're very good at a specific thing. My forte is a very similar one. So my forte is whatever it might be. So something that you specialize in, something that you're really good in. All right. Next one, talking about your strengths. Okay, so the things that you're very good at, the things that people tell you you're good at, or you know that you're good at, the things that you excel in. So again, highlighting the strengths that will be applicable for this position. You don't just want to talk about any type of strengths that you have. You want to really highlight the ones that are going to be of use to this job. You want to show the interviewer that you have the strengths and you have what it takes to fill in this position. Okay, so if this position is a management position and they need you to be very organized, have good communication skills, then you want to highlight those. If you really genuinely have those skills and you're very good at them, then you really want to highlight them and emphasize them. Don't say that you're a good team player if the job doesn't involve working with other colleagues, okay? All right, so some expressions, some example sentences. I think I'm the right choice. Another word here or another expression you could say, I think I am the best fit, the most suitable for this job because I know how to. And then fill in whatever the job role might be, whatever they need you to do. If you can do it, this is where you want to put in that job role task or that description. Here you want to mention the skill that's relevant for the job. Okay, so my team leadership skills, for example, will allow me to do this easily. Or you could say, my years of experience as a team leader will allow me to do this easily. I'm very good at. Pay attention to this preposition. So we are good at things, okay? We can use this expression. I am very good at listening, for example, and that's why I think I'll be able to handle this position. So maybe here you might need to listen to people's problems. You might need to listen to feedback from customers. So you want to put in something here that is relevant to that. I'd love to work here because I would excel in. Love this expression. To excel in something means to do exceptionally well, to do really well in something, better than most. I think and then you want to mention the 3 skills. So for example, I think my organization, my communication skills, and my listening skills make me perfect for this job because, and then you want to emphasize why. So link it, like I said, link it back to the job position, what they require from the candidate that they want to hire. You could even say it like this. I can say my top 3 skills are team leader, listening, and strong communicator, right? You could put those there. Okay, talking about your weaknesses, the opposite of your strengths. Now, with this one, people don't really know how to talk about their weaknesses because they think it's bad if they show what they're not good at. There's a way of doing this where you can talk about your weaknesses that are relevant to the job again. But what you want to do is you want to talk about how you're aware of this and what you're doing to improve it. Okay, so you want to name a weakness that is relevant to the job and talk about how you're improving it, how you're working on it, what you're doing to reduce this weakness, okay, so that it doesn't affect you. So this will show the interviewer or the employer that you're very serious, you know where your weakness is and what you're doing to improve it, okay? It shows initiative. Some examples. I have a hard time with, for example, new software programs. But once I get the hang of it, it becomes easy. So we've got a really good expression, I have a hard time with. You can name whatever it is that you have problems with. And then you can talk about the opposite of that. So it's like kind of like you're saying, okay, I have this difficulty, but in saying this, it's actually not too bad once I understand how to do it. Okay, so initially it's a weakness and then I work on it. Next one. Sometimes I lose track of time focusing on minor details that aren't as important. So I try to be conscious of this, not get caught up in those details. Sorry, there should be an end here. So I try to be conscious of this and not get caught up in those details. Okay? Another one. I could use more experience in team leadership and I am wanting to improve this skill in the future. All right, so here you're showing that you lack some experience in a particular field, but you want to challenge yourself in the future and you want to take on a type of position related to this. Okay, you could even mention here how you're reading a book or doing a course about team leadership to prepare yourself for a future position in this. I can have trouble asking for help, but I am working on this. Another great expression. I can have trouble with whatever it might be, and then mention how you're working on it. So how are you working on this? Maybe you're practicing asking questions. You're trying to be a bit more confident in meetings. I sometimes have difficulty delegating tasks. be careful with this expression here. I hear a lot of people saying I sometimes have difficult rather than saying difficulty. Okay, so you don't want to say I sometimes have difficult. That's incorrect English. You want to say I sometimes have difficulty. At times, it is challenging for me to maintain a work-life balance. Okay, and then here you might want to say what you're doing to improve this. I am known for being forgetful at times, so I have mastered the art of writing things down and taking note. Guys, this is actually a weakness of mine, and when I used to apply for jobs, I used to give this example because it was true. Sometimes I can be forgetful. I don't have the best memory. So out of fear of forgetting things, I would literally take notes with me. Like anywhere I would go, I just like write down any notes I had. I always had a notepad, sticky notes, and I would also use the notes app on my phone. So that's a really genuine, it's a great example of like a genuine weakness you have, and then talking about how you're working to improve it. So this is a good one. I am known for being. Okay, so this is one that's, you're telling them like you're known for being this type of person, or like other people know that you have this weakness. But you're also saying what you do to fix this problem, right? So I have mastered the art of. To master the art of something means to become so good at it. You become a master at it, right? So I have mastered the art of writing things down and taking notes. Next one, asking the interviewer to repeat a question. Guys, there is nothing wrong with asking someone to repeat a question. In fact, even if you're going for a job in your own native language, sometimes you don't understand or you don't hear the person properly, especially if you're having the job interview online, right? Through a Zoom call, for example, you really might not be able to hear them. So don't be afraid of asking someone to repeat or rephrase a question if you don't understand it. There is nothing wrong with that. I would rather that you ask someone to repeat a question or to rephrase it if you didn't understand it, than to answer something that doesn't even connect or it doesn't even make sense with what they asked you. Okay, so you don't want to answer something incorrectly because you weren't sure if you heard them properly. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Some expressions here that you can say if you want someone to repeat a question or if you want someone to rephrase it and clarify what they're asking, you can say this: I'm not sure I got that. Would you please repeat the question? You could also say, excuse me, I didn't hear you. Can you please say that again? Could you please repeat the question and speak a little bit slower? Sorry, I didn't understand you. Could you please rephrase that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part. Can you repeat it? If I understood correctly, you want me to talk about ... or you could say you are asking me about ... So this last one is a really good one if you think you know what they're asking, but you're not 100% sure, but you want to show them that, yes, I'm listening, yes, I heard you, but I'm not quite sure if this is your question. So it's a really good one to use. It's pretty powerful as well. All right, and you want to also talk about why you should be hired, right? You want to emphasize why you're the right fit, why you're the suitable candidate, and why they should choose you over everyone else that has applied for this job. So some really powerful expressions and sentences you can use are the following. I love the idea of working here because I enjoy ... whatever it might be. You might enjoy their values, their mission, the clients they work with, the tasks that would be expected of you. So you want to emphasize why you want to work there. And really think about this. This is what I always wanted to do, and I know I have the opportunity to go for it. You can expect nothing but proficiency and excellent results if you hire me. All right, so we can replace this with whatever you want to say, whatever you think you will be able to deliver. You can expect nothing but whatever you want to include here. I feel that I should be hired by you, given my strong background in, and here you want to mention your skills or your expertise, along with the experience the company is looking for. All right, so really showing them that your skills and your expertise are directly connected to this job position and are exactly what they need. I believe you should hire me because I have the experience and the attitude to excel in this position. I have a proven ability to drive results through my experience in, maybe it could be e-commerce, for example. I have a proven ability. So again, I have a proven. The previous one we looked at was I have a proven track record. Here we're saying I have a proven ability to drive results through my experience in whatever your experience is. And you might also want to put a statistic, a fact, or a story about how you're able to drive results how you were able to drive results in the past. Okay, the more stories, the more statistics you can give them, the more truthful and genuine you'll come across to them, and the more they'll have trust in you. Last one you can use, I'm committed to nurturing and leading a team, and this is an essential part of this role. So if you're going for a team leadership position, you could definitely use this sentence. If you're going for another type of position, you could change this to suit whatever it is the skills you might need. Now, also, make sure that you ask questions maybe towards the end of the interview, maybe after the interviewer has asked you all their questions, or if it's suitable midway through. It's a really great way to show that you're invested in the interview and you're interested in what they have to say as well. And this is a great opportunity. Job interviews, I always tell people, job interviews aren't just about interviewing you. It's not about the employer just trying to find the right person. It's also about you getting to know a company. It's a great way for you to see how different companies operate, get to know different people, and to practice doing job interviews. So if you don't get that first job interview that you take, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You're also able to interview the company and see if the company is a good fit for you. You might actually not want the job after speaking to them and realizing, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe these aren't the type of roles that are suitable for my skills, or maybe this company doesn't align with my values. So some of the questions you can ask the interviewer, and it's a great opportunity for you to get insight into the company, are: what's your favorite and least favorite part about working here? What's one challenge you occasionally or regularly face in your job? Tell me about the company's corporate culture. How would you describe it? What is the most important tip you would give a new employee? How do you see the company evolving over the next 5 years? Great questions, guys, and you can even ask other questions that you think might be suitable for the position you're applying for. Or you might do a bit of research and find something really interesting about the company online. You want to pick their brains and ask them questions about it. Okay? So, great one here as well. Questions that you can ask at the end of the interview. Some general tips that I want you guys to remember. Research the company. Make sure you check out their website, check out their socials, their LinkedIn, even an article about the company. This is a great way to get insight and allow the employer to realize that, hey, I've also done research about your company. I'm very interested in this company. It shows that you've done your homework and you're invested and you're taking this seriously. Obviously, you want to look professional, clean clothes, looking sharp, office wear, just looking presentable, really. They say dress for the part that you want, so you really want to go for it. Even if it's just online, you want to make sure that you're looking very professional. Make sure to smile. Sometimes we can get a little bit nervous and really in our heads about the job interview, and we're really focused on answering everything correctly. We forget to smile. So you just want to make sure that you also come across as approachable and friendly. So a smile goes a long way here. Also, another thing I always recommend, and I always remind my students after they've done a job interview, I always remind them of this: make sure to send a follow-up email just thanking the employer, the recruiter, the interviewer, whoever it is, just thanking them for their time. And if there's anything you weren't able to clarify in the interview or you weren't able to answer properly, now's a great time, right after the interview, to send them an email and just say, hi, just following up to say thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you soon. if you have any questions, this is my number, or you can just send something along those lines. And if you want to clarify anything, you can also just say to them, I also wanted to clarify when I answered this question, and then mention whatever it is you want to clarify. Okay, so that's a really powerful tool that you can use, and often people who follow up are more likely to get jobs than those who don't follow up. So it's a really powerful one, and it keeps you on the top of the interviewer's mind. So it's a great tip for you guys to use. And yeah, if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Give this video a like if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe so you can watch next week's lesson, same time, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Sao Paulo time. Thanks a lot, guys. And if you need help with your job interview preparation or interview training, I also do private lessons. So feel free to ask me for a private lesson. Just click the link below in the description box and I will get in contact with you. Thanks a lot, guys.